Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well. So, just starting off in our seat. So, just an easy seat. So, if you want to kind of start off in a seat, and I just wanted to give some pointers to people who maybe are not familiar, just in case. But if you have something to raise your hips up, so whether it's a block or maybe a blanket or a cushion that's folded up, or a blanket that's folded up, and then allowing yourself to sit down cross-legged. And what's a nice thing to do is kind of scoot yourself forward a little bit so that you sit in front of your tailbone. So your legs are off the blanket, but it's just your sitting bones sitting on top of it. So then if you can raise your hips up, so the higher you raise your hips, the more comfortable your seat is. So I'll kind of show you if I'm sitting down on the floor like this, then you can kind of see where my knees are. There's a little bit of space here, which is fine. It's not that uncomfortable for me. But if I were to raise my hips higher, and then don't be afraid to raise it up pretty high, then you see how my knees come down like this. It just makes it a little bit more comfortable to have a nice tall grounded seat. So holding that core in and opening up the chest. You can just sit directly on the floor as well, as long as you feel that you can be in front of your tailbone and also have a nice tall spine. So grounding the legs, and then just allowing your eyes to gently close. Well, I do have an announcement to make. Saturday at 9 a.m. we do have an Ayurveda nutrition talk. So Julie will be sharing all about Ayurveda diet. That's a kind of an ancient healing system, over 5,000 years old, very closely linked to yoga, the sister science of yoga. So she'll be doing a live cooking demo of khichdi, which is a very cleansing, detoxifying, and easy to digest meal that you can have. In fact, I'll be doing a khichdi cleanse starting from Sunday for 7 days. So whatever you see her making is what I'll be eating for every meal for 7 days. So we'll see how that goes. And but yes, if you want to join that, that will be on Saturday at 9 a.m. Okay, so again, finding that grounding in your legs. So we're just trying to create this foundation, just starting to feel the sitting bones getting heavy. And just with your eyes closed and your chest open, allowing the shoulders to relax and taking a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Just finding that transition from whatever you were doing, just woke up maybe, to now. Allow yourself to bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows, the chittakash, mind space. And if you'd like, welcome you to create an intention for this practice or maybe for the day. Starting to think about maybe how you want to feel today or even for the next few weeks or 2 weeks or so. New moon is coming up on Thursday. It's a really wonderful time to set intentions. All the moon waxes. Slowly and gently just beginning to deepen that breathing, just bringing your awareness back to this space. We're going to be moving into our first posture, our child's pose. So coming to the back of your mat and then opening your knees up to your own degree. You can even keep your knees closed and just gauge where you're feeling this morning. You're going to send your hips back. So your glutes touching your heels. And if you want to, you can open up a little bit as well. So you can start to allow your body to just relax on the floor. And find yourself in an effortless child's pose. You're not really trying to stretch here. You're just letting your body just assimilate. Just starting to breathe into the back. Feeling the back expand with your inhale, feeling it contract with your exhale. So again, this is a posture that you can always come to, an asana that you can come to wherever you're at. If you ever need to take that break, so important to listen to your body and listen to your breath. And just right now is not really a time that you need to push so hard. Just kind of sending this kindness and compassion to ourselves. And just slowly, as you breathe, start to send those hips back and start to reach the arms forward. Just feeling that stretch in the spine. Just beginning to wake it up a little bit. So feeling that active stretch. And then allowing yourself to bring your arms all the way to the right while keeping your hips planted. So if your hips are off your heels, that's fine. You just want to bring the awareness of it moving backward, moving down, and then reaching the arms all the way to the right and up at the same time. So you should feel a really nice stretch in your right hip, and then feel a beautiful stretch all the way across the left side of your body. Keep breathing and keep stretching in opposite directions. And slowly and gently coming back to the center. And then reaching all the way over to the left. So the arms going as far over to the left as you can while keeping your glutes down and reaching up with the arms. Breathe here. And then slowly come back to the center. And find that stretch again, arms reaching forward, hips reaching back. And slowly and gently as you inhale, coming up into tabletop. So wrists right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then let's begin to think a little bit about this core. So we just have to make sure, especially during our practice, is that we're not just letting it go. We're just bringing awareness to that belly button. Just imagine it coming to the back of the spine. So just holding that in, holding it together, relaxing the shoulders. And let's move into our cat-cow or cow-cat. As you inhale, let's slowly start to open up the chest. So drop the chest in front of the shoulders, send the tailbone up, and then just lift your head up enough to see the ceiling as you relax the shoulders and just continuously begin to drop that chest forward. Push the ground away with your hands and your knees and just arch that spine and breathe. Feeling the toning of the spinal muscles. And then as you exhale, let's slowly begin to round the back, bringing the chin to the chest, pelvis towards the forehead, and then push the ground away. So like just like an angry cat, really round the spine and breathe into the back. And then just moving on your own here with your breath and free movement as you inhale and exhale, and articulating your spine in any way that it feels good for you. So I know we all kind of wake up a little differently. Some people kind of jump right out of bed. Some people it takes a minute. Some people might snooze for a while. So just everybody's a little different. So it's nice to have a little bit of free movement where you just feel the body connecting with the breath. Maybe you're moving side to side. Maybe you need a little stretch around your wrists, so you're moving forward onto your hands here as you breathe. Always let the breath guide you in any movement that you make. If you want to, you can send the hips back, one to one side here, other side. And once you've kind of had enough, you can come back to neutral again. Remind yourself of the core. I'll remind you too, because I always forget to. And then we're going to go ahead and just stretch the toes a little bit. So let's curl the toes, and then let's send our hips back to the toes here. And then just, you can kind of rock back and forth and just feel the stretch in the toes. So if this is something that you don't do regularly, it might be owie. You might be like, ah. So just go gentle. You don't have to send your hips back too hard. You can actually kind of bring it forward a little bit. If this is not hard for you or not, or it's too easy, then you can, if you want to, start to send yourself all the way back and then really put all that weight of your body onto the toes. So again, everybody is so different. So just listen to where you're at, feeling that stretch, main thing. And then coming back to neutral. And again, remind yourself of that core. And let's begin to do a little bit of balancing here. So starting to send that right leg back. So the right leg moves backwards. Try to see if you can reach the back rim with your toe. So allowing for that stretch and that extension. And now we're going to bring our weight over to the right hand and then slowly start to lift the left hand up. And maybe you're here, maybe you're just kind of figuring out the balance, or you can lift your hand up. Try to relax the shoulder and push the ground away with your right hand. It's easier if you're finding something that you can focus on. Allow yourself to find that opposing traction again. Left arm reaches forward, right foot reaches back, and then you're lifting it all up and pushing the ground away with your right hand. Keep breathing and squeeze your midline. Hold that core, breathe. And then release that. Left hand down, right leg comes down. And take a nice breath here. And then we'll move on to the left side. So left leg reaches back. Again, feel the extension from the hip muscle. Try to activate that leg and then begin to bring the weight onto the left hand and then releasing the right. So again, try to find that focus point, hold the core in and just squeeze your midline, helping you to find that balance, reaching forward, reaching back with the foot, lifting the foot up. Keep breathing, pushing that left hand down, relax the shoulders, and then slowly release the right hand down and then releasing the left knee as you breathe, bringing your breath back to normal. And then let's curl the toes under and move into our downward facing dog. And then just slowly starting to bring the knees. So you really want to bend the knees until you can bring your lower abdomen onto the tops of your thighs. So kind of think about your hands here right now. So make sure that all 10 fingers planted on the ground, the palm is planted, and you're just pushing the ground away, but you're trying to relax your shoulders. Also imagine the inside of your armpits trying to face each other. So the soft part of your elbow, the inside of your elbow is also facing outward. Just a little motion in that direction as you send your hips up. So the tailbone reaches all the way up. You can drop your head, relax it, and then slowly start to pedal the feet. So slowly start to straighten the knees, hold that core in, and with the arms, start to send that hip all the way up towards the ceiling. And just breathe here, pedaling the feet. And once you're good with the pedaling, you can start to bring the heels down. The knees can be bent. So start to bring the knees down, and then the feeling of bringing the backs of your legs towards the back of your room. Again, remind yourself of that core and breathe here. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings, the calves, the lower back, the whole body. Breathe. And slowly look up at your hands and then walk your feet slowly to the back of your wrists. So feet would be about hip width distance apart, and then really ground your legs. So again, these can be bent, but just start to push the ground away with your feet. Feel all 10 toes working, and then slowly allow the head to drop. And if you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows for ragdoll and just breathe here. Again, remind yourself of that core. We want to protect that lower back. So breathing here, just letting your whole spine just elongate, like gravity. Start to, with your breath, move those arms down, elongating the spine. You can start to straighten the knees out to your degree. Again, just think about your tailbone moving up towards the ceiling, and breathe here. And if you want to, you can sway from side to side, just noticing where you feel the stretch here as you breathe. Just connecting.
breath in the body. And slowly coming to the center, releasing the elbows, and you can put your hands down. If you want to, you can bring your toes and heels together, bend the knees, and then slowly and gently roll all the way up into standing posture, mountain posture, Tadasana. When you make it to the top, you can roll the shoulders back and open up the palms. And then just take a few deep breaths here. Few deep breaths. A couple of breaths. We're going to move into our sun salutation or Surya Namaskar. And then I'll be giving a few modifications for that. But you want to start off again in this really nice, tall Tadasana stance. It's a very active posture. You want to start thinking about your feet, grounding into the mat. So your legs begin to activate. So the knees kind of come up. You can kind of feel that. And then using that grounding, start to think about that lower abdomen again, the belly button into the core, which helps to automatically open up the chest. So I always like to kind of remind people about posture. You know, when you're standing in line at Costco or wherever you're at the grocery store, you know, you might just want to notice, like, how is everybody kind of standing? This was my normal stance, like this, like pelvis forward. So that would all automatically, I wouldn't even think about my abdomen. I would just stand like this normally. And sometimes I catch myself coming back to this krama. But if you just think about maybe holding that lower abdomen in, pushing the feet down, and then starting to allow your sitting bones to separate, so your sacrum goes in, then it just your chest automatically opens. So you can kind of practice, if you can kind of think about that. Just think about not activating the core and pelvis forward, and then opening up. So helping to align the spine so that we don't have any back pain. So standing in this nice, tall, grounded stance. As you inhale, let's reach all the way up. So we'll do it nice and slow. First round, reaching the arms up, the palms can be together or separated. You're looking up at your hands, and then you're slowly starting to open up the chest. So again, pelvis can come slightly forward. You don't have to push it all the way forward, but just enough so that you can find that balance. What you're trying to do is you're really trying to open up your chest here. Keep breathing and keep reaching up as your feet ground down. And as you exhale, let's slowly move into the forward bend. So toes, heels together, if possible. Knees can be bent. And just let your head relax. Again, you just shake it. And then hold that core in and just begin to feel that spine elongating. You can bring your hands either to the knees, the ankles, the ground, or if you want to, you can bring it. Turn your wrists around, fingers around, and let yourself surrender here as you breathe. Moving into halfway lift. As we inhale, you can bring your hands right under your knees to your shins, or you can bring it down to the floor. And you're just going to open up the chest. So nice flat back as you lift your head up. Look up as high as you can. Again, core is in, the tailbone is moving up towards the ceiling. So feel that stretch of the spine. Feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Bend your knees and slowly bring your hands down to the ground, and then step your right foot back. So this is a lunge here, a low lunge. You can either bring your knee down if this is much more comfortable for you, but we're just trying to stretch our hips. So you can either have your knee down and bring your hips forward, or if you feel like you want an extra challenge to lift that knee up, just creating a little bit more stability and muscle here, start to send the hips forward. Either way, hips go forward, and then the chest is open, and just breathe here. And if you want to, you can drop yourself back, open up the chest, and then think about squeezing your midline. So again, this is how it looks with your knee down. Squeeze that midline and breathe. And then slowly bring your hands down. Send the left foot to meet the right into downward facing dog. So again, thinking about the hands, palms flat. Think about sending that tailbone back and shooting the back of the legs to the back of the room. Hold that core in and breathe. From here, you can either move into chaturanga, push up, or if you want to, you can bring your knees down and then tuck your elbows into the body and bring your chest and your chin down and just breathe here. And then slowly, you can do any variation of cobra. So if you want to, you can start with your hands on your chest, tucking the elbows in, moving the chest forward, and then just looking up, looking forward as you breathe, moving that chest forward. The shoulders are relaxed. Or if you want to extend the arms, you can, making sure you're planting those legs down. Again, chest comes forward, shoulders relaxed. Or if you want to move into up dog, you're just going to lift the legs up with the same motion of the chest. And then slowly curl the toes under back into downward facing dog. Thinking about tightening that core, sending the hips up and back. Breathe here. Trying to bring the heels down as much as possible. And then slowly looking up at your hands. And then this time we're going to also bring the right knee or the right foot forward between the hands. And so maybe from here, you might have to drop to your knee, bring the right foot forward, and then move the foot forward, which is totally fine. And you could keep your knee dropped here and then send your hips forward. Or if you want to, you can lift it up, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Again, it doesn't really matter what everybody else is doing, as long as you're feeling the stretch. The stretch is really for the hips here. So send your hips forward and then making sure your shoulders are square. Allow your head to drop back and open up the chest. And slowly and gently bringing the hands down. Left foot to meet the right, back into forward bend. Ground your feet, push the feet against the ground as you inhale. Lift yourself all the way up with the arms coming up. Dropping back, opening up the chest. Reaching up, reaching over. And then exhale, bringing the palms to the heart center. And just bringing the hands to the side again, palms facing out. And again, just thinking about your Tadasana. Keeping that chest open, the shoulders relaxed, and just breathe. Maybe even noticing the sensation of the Surya Namaskar, the salutation, honoring and respecting the sun. And we'll go ahead and do the left side. So again, grounding the legs, gently open your eyes as you inhale. Let's reach up. We're going to just move with each breath. Exhale, reach all the way down into forward bend. Take your time. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is straight, chest is open. Bend the knees, exhale. Left leg steps back. Left knee can be on the ground or up. Hips are open. As you inhale, open up the chest. Look up towards the ceiling. Send the hips forward. Exhale, hands to the ground. Right foot back into downward facing dog. To move into chaturanga, or you can move into 9-point pose. As you inhale, slowly bring your chest. Take an exhale here, and the next inhale, let's move into cobra or upward facing dog. Open up that chest, round the legs, curl the toes under as you exhale. Let's go into downward facing dog, hips sending back. And let's just take a few breaths here. So again, let's think about the hands, think about the palms planting downward, think about the armpits facing towards each other. Push the ground away. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed as you hold that core in. Feel the elongation of the spine. Feel the tailbone lifting up towards the ceiling. Starting to bring those heels down. And if you can bring the heels down, lift the toes up. Otherwise, you can just, your heels do not have to touch the ground. Just the motion of it. Just think about it. And then whatever you think about your body usually starts to flow that way as you breathe.
Inhale, slowly, let's bring the left foot forward. Right knee up or down, hips forward. Inhale, open up the chest, look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bringing the right foot to meet the left, forward bend. Push the ground away with your feet as you inhale, lift the arms up, reach up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bringing the hands to the heart center, and then bringing the hands to the side, and just taking nice slow breaths here. Again, just bringing that awareness to the parts of your body that are waking up, all the capillaries, blood vessels, awakening. And then we'll move into our chair posture. So start to bring our palms to the heart center and then lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. And we're just gonna lift the eyes. So try not to drop the head back. You're just keeping your head level and then lifting the eyes up. Raise your head up just enough so that you can see your hands. Hands can be together or separated. We're gonna slowly start to bend the knees. So send your hips back, hold that core in. Keep reaching up with the arms. And then you can start to squeeze, if you'd like, your knees together. Hold that core in, drop your hips back, reach the arms up. Keep breathing here, finding your weight onto mostly your heels. Take another breath, and then slowly sit back one more time. And as you inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, bringing the arms down. Coming back to your breath. And then clasping the hands behind you. And then slowly and gently lifting the arms up, opening up the chest, and then slowly bending forward. To your degree, again, knees can be bent. And then just let your shoulders, everything, the gravity, just pull everything down. Excuse me. You can relax your head and just feel that stretch. Push the feet away from the ground again as you inhale, slowly lifting all the way up. And as you exhale, release the arms. Again, take that breath. We're going to move into some chair twists. So it might be easier if I show it to you this way. Again, we're going to move into chair, so bringing the palms to the heart center. Lifting the arms up. You can separate the arms, keep it together, but just gonna lift up enough so that you can start to set the hips back. So again, back into the chair, hold and squeeze those knees together. Let's bring the palms to the heart center. And then this time, let's start to bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then allow yourself to just use that kind of like as a hook or a leverage to push against, off of, and then just open up the chest and look up towards the ceiling. Hold that core in. And let's use this to help wring out our organs, helping to detoxify and digest. Breathe here. And then slowly and gently coming back to the center with your hands at your heart center as you breathe. Take a breath here and slowly let's bring the left elbow to the outside of the right elbow outside of the left knee. Push those hands together and look up towards the ceiling. Again, using the leverage of the elbow against the knee to help you twist, twisting on the left side. And then slowly bringing yourself back to the center. And as you inhale, straighten your legs, lift the arms up as you breathe. And then slowly bringing the hands to the heart center, releasing the hands, and taking a breath here. We're going to move into the pyramid pose. So this is kind of helpful for balancing. So depending on your practice and your balance, maybe you might want to be near a wall or a chair if you feel like you're going to lose your balance. So this is the pyramid posture. You're just going to step your right foot back. And then it's going to be at a slight 45-degree angle. If you feel really wobbly here, because your feet are so close together, then you can open up your legs a little bit more. So it can be more like train tracks, sitting on train tracks, or you can bring your legs together for a challenge. So wherever you're at with your balance, just get yourself positioned and then slowly start to bring that right hip forward. So we want to square the hips and then think about holding that core in and really pushing the pinky toe of your right foot down. So all 10 toes are working, especially that back leg, and just hold that core in and then slowly start to bring your palms to the heart center. I'm sorry, actually reach behind you. So if you want to, you can grab onto the elbows behind you, or if you can do a namaskar behind you. So just bringing the palms to the heart center, sorry, the palms to the small of the back. You can do that, or you can hold the elbows, whichever feels more comfortable for you, or you can just keep your hands at the sides. Open up that chest, almost lean back a little bit as you inhale, again, thinking about that right hip coming forward. And then as you exhale, squeeze those legs together, internally rotating the inner thighs, and slowly start to bring your chest down. So try again, you're not rounding the spine here, you're just opening up. So you should feel the stretch in the left hip as well. And then once you've sent your hips back and have yourself bent to your degree, then slowly tuck the chin in. Breathe here. Maybe you're looking at your back toe. Maybe your body is shaking a little because it's trying to create that muscle memory for this balance. Breathe again, just think about that core. And if you fall out, it's okay. You can just get right back in. Just breathe here. Slowly and gently, and try and come out the same way you went in, with a flat back, coming all the way up. Release the arms, bring that right foot forward, and just take a breath here. And let's do the other side. So stepping the left foot back again. So whatever you did on the right side, maybe your legs were a little farther apart. Maybe they're a little closer together. Idea would be to try to get the front heel, aligned with the inner arch of the back foot. But wherever you're at, it doesn't really matter as long as your hips are forward here and straight. So left hip has a tendency to kind of open up like this whenever we stand like this. So we just want to bring it forward so that our chest is also forward. And then again, you can let's try to grab the opposite elbow if you did that one, or you can still try to do the namaskar in the back, small of your back, opening up the chest. Again, think about that back foot, that back pinky toe, really working there. As you inhale, let's open up, almost look up a little bit, open up the chest. As you exhale, let's slowly start to hinge from the hips. And again, the knees can be bent here, but the idea would be to slowly start to bend forward. And with each little micro movement that you make, hold that core in and just feel where you're feeling this stretch in the glute, hamstrings. Hold that core in, chest moving forward. Once you come to that point of resistance, let your head drop and breathe here. Notice how you're feeling. Breathe into any discomfort. Listen to the body. Finding that stillness. And then slowly and gently push the ground away with your feet and slowly come up. Think about that core coming all the way up. Release the hands, and as you exhale, let's bring the left foot to meet the right. And just take some breaths here. Again, notice how you're feeling. I'm going to move into a forward bend. So inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, bending all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, stepping the feet back into downward facing dog. So again, thinking from the hands all the way up the mountain and all the way down the mountain.
down to your feet. Let's slowly start to bend the right knee, sending that left hip up. Try to bring your left knee down, straighten the left leg, straighten the left arm, and then feel that stretch on the left side of your leg as you breathe. And think about your core. To the other side, so bend the left knee, straighten the right leg and the right arm. Feel that stretch. And then slowly bringing the legs back. Send both legs back. Send that hip up to the ceiling. And let's move into dolphin pose or puppy pose. So slowly let's start to drop onto our forearms here. So hands are forward. And then slowly walk your feet up. And again, your knees can be bent here, but it's just like downward facing dog. A little bit more work on the core here. You can look up at your hands as you breathe. We were doing some headstand preparations. So this is one of the practices you can do to really fire up your core to start to move into the headstand. We're not going to do headstand today, but we'll just start to work on that core. So again, the more you can bring your feet closer to your arms, the more activation of the core you're going to have. And then you're going to be able to lift your legs up when you do start to move into the headstand. So just breathe here, firing that core, breathe. And then slowly start to step the foot back. And then slowly bring your hands up. And then walk your hands all the way to your feet. And then start to open up the feet. So all the way to the edge of your mat. And then slowly start to drop the hips back or drop the hips down. So Malasana, opening up the hips and then bringing the elbows. If the elbows come into the inside, you can push the elbows into the knees, separating the knees and bringing your hands to your heart center. If this is really challenging for you, you can actually do this on a cushion, just beginning to open up the hips. So you can even have some blocks here if you'd like to just kind of sit on the block. That's helpful. So again, just using any props to help you with your journey. We don't have to suffer. But again, if you want to, you can kind of move back and forth here from side to side. Again, keeping the chest open. Let's put our left hand in the center and then start to open up the right here. So a little twist. You can even bring the left elbow to the inside of the left knee, push the ground away or push the leg away and help you to find a little bit more space. As you breathe and twist. And then slowly bring the right hand down. Let's bring the right hand down all the way to the ground and lift the left hand up. So again, if you want to, you can use that outside of your elbow, the right elbow, to push against the inside of your right knee, help you to open up a little bit more in your twist as you breathe. And then slowly lowering all the way down, reaching your hands forward, and then moving down into tabletop, and then coming all the way down to the floor into Sphinx pose. So bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders, hands forward, chest forward, and let your legs ground here. Again, relaxing the shoulders. Just keep your head looking straight and just breathe here. So just an active posture of bringing your chest forward. And as you start to breathe, you'll start to feel that stretch and the toning in the lower back muscles. And then you'll start to feel the strengthening and toning of your upper back muscles. Keep breathing. And slowly start to lower down. You can open up the elbows and bring your hand, one hand on top of each other, and then just rest your forehead there. Just relax your whole body down. And just moving into a little bit of spine strengthening. So all this sitting that we're doing, our rounded backs,
It's inevitable with everything that we do. So just want to strengthen that spine so we can have good posture, hoping to eliminate some pain in the back. Slowly and gently, just release the hands, bring your forehead down to the mat, and then reach your hands back. Slowly, as you inhale, let's lift the arms up and lift the legs up, lift the chest up off the ground, relax the shoulders, open up the chest, lift your arms and legs up as high up as you can. Keep breathing and lift. Breathe and lift. One more time, as high as you can. And then exhale, slowly release all the way down. Chin comes down to the mat. And you can rest your cheek on the mat, allowing your arms to rest at your side, relaxing the legs. Take a breath. As you inhale, let's slowly bring the arms all the way out, so into an airplane wings. Again, you want to ground your legs, bring the toes and heels together this time. And as you inhale, let's lift everything up. So arms reaching out in opposite directions, lifting the leg up, lifting the chest up, relax the shoulders. Start to imagine your shoulder blades coming towards each other. Lift up as high as you can as you breathe. One more time. And then exhale, slowly release. Chin comes down to the mat, arms comes to your side, and then rest your opposite cheek on the mat. And just breathe, relax your whole body down. We're going to be moving into the bow posture, upward bow posture. So if you can bring your foot back, bend the knees, and then reach your hands back. If this is hard to do with both feet at the same time, we can do it twice. We can just do one leg at a time, or for those of you who can reach your feet, we'll just do that twice. So if you can only reach one foot, then let's just do one at a time. Otherwise, you can do both. Again, you're going to hold on to whatever you can hold on to, the back of your feet. Relax the shoulders and try to bring your knees together to start. As you inhale, let's slowly start to kick the feet into the hands. Open up the chest, look up towards the ceiling. Keep kicking into the hands as you breathe. Relax your shoulders, open up the chest. Kick, kick, kick as high as you can. And then exhale, relax the legs down. Release it nice and slow. Chin comes down. Body relaxes, and then bring your cheek to the mat. Breathe. Let's do it one more time. For those of you who held one leg up, let's do the other leg. Otherwise, if you did both, do both again. Why not? Holding the feet, squeezing the knees and the thighs together. Inhale, slowly start to kick the feet into the hands, opening up the chest. Relax your shoulders. Kick up as high as you can. Breathe and kick. Breathe and kick a little bit more. And exhale, slowly release down. Release the leg or the legs. Chin to the mat. And then rest your cheek on the mat and breathe here. Slowly and gently, let's begin to push ourselves off the mat, coming into a seated position. So again, if you want to have a seat on the blanket or on a block, we're just going to start to bring the soles of our feet together. So Baddha Konasana, opening up the hips. You can hold on to underneath your feet or your ankles, anything you can kind of hold on to help you straighten your back. Again, try to sit in front of the tailbone. And as you breathe, just start to feel the hips opening up here. And if you feel that you can progress a little bit more, you can start to bring your chest forward. So again, just imagine starting to hinge from the hips And imagine your lower abdomen coming towards your heels, helping to keep that back straight, keep your head up, and just breathe. Each exhale, if you'd like, you can start to use the strength of your hands to, again, give you a little bit more flexibility, a lot of strength involved in flexibility, but only if the body is ready. You can inhale to elongate the spine, and as you exhale, you can start to use that strength. Maybe you can come down a little bit more, millimeter, hold that core in, and then once you get to that resistance, just let your head drop here, and breathe. Send your breath to any areas of tension. Slowly and gently making your way back up, and then very gently bringing your knees towards each other. And then you can open up the feet. So your knees are bent and your feet are at the edge of the mat. And then if you like, you can lean back here and then slowly windshield wipe your legs. So bring the right knee down, bring the left knee down, and just breathe here, moving from side to side. Nice little massage for the glutes as well as you breathe. And then see if you can kind of crab walk yourself back to the center of your mat with your knees bent. So start to bring your knees about hip width distance apart, and then reach your arms back as far as you can. And then slowly and gently start to lift the hips up, moving into reverse tabletop. So try not to drop your head back. Try to keep your chin kind of relatively tucked into the chest as you push the ground away with your hand, push the ground away with your feet, and lift your hips up as high as you can. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can, for extra challenge, you can straighten the legs and then lift the hips up here and breathe. Open up the chest with each exhale. Push the ground away, and then slowly and gently lower yourself all the way back into a seated position. We're going to move into Paschimottanasana, or seated forward bend. So you can kind of push your hips back a little bit here so that you're truly sitting on your sitting bones, again, in front of the tailbone. Let's keep the legs nice and heavy here, grounding the legs. And always remembering that core, especially when we're bending forward. So let's start with a nice open chest and just slowly begin to walk your hands forward. So just again, thinking about the lower back or the lower abdomen touching the top of the thighs. So you're just folding and hinging forward as you breathe. And look ahead. Try to keep that back straight. A lot of times if you look down, when you're starting to stretch, you can start to do a little bit of a rounding. So we want to start to straight, keep the back straight. And then maybe you can hold on to the backs of your knees or the back of your ankles or your feet, wherever you can grab. Just try to keep the shoulders relaxed and the chest moving forward. And breathe. Internally rotating your inner thigh muscles. So just imagine your sitting bones kind of also spreading apart at the same time. Slowly just let your head drop here. You can shake your head, yes and no, releasing tension from the upper back muscles or heavy head here. Just let that tension release as you breathe, keeping the legs grounded, keeping that core engaged, keeping that chest moving forward. So each inhale, elongate the spine. Imagine your chest coming towards your toes. And with each exhale, if you want to, if you listen to the body, use the strength of your hands to slowly move yourself down a little bit more. But ultimately, you want to find your own edge and breathe into it. And if you want to, you can do a little bit of a mantra as you are stretching. As you inhale, you can think Om. And as you exhale, you can think Shri. You do that out loud or in your mind. Om Shri. Let yourself surrender to this forward bend. Just breathe. The legs are nice and heavy. Core is engaged. Slowly and gently start to move up. Push yourself up back into a seated position. Once you make it all the way up to the top, let your whole body relax. Close your eyes. Just giving yourself a moment to notice the sensation of the forward bend. Move into a little bit of a twist practice here. So different ways that you can be seated in a twist on the floor. You can cross the right foot over the left knee, sit here, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can bend both knees, or for more foundation, you can just cross your legs. So whatever makes you feel better. If you do this, this is probably a little bit of a harder way to keep your back straight. Any way you can kind of keep your back straight and do the twist would be great. I'll do the knee one. So if you do the knee, you're going to start to bring your left arm and wrap it around. You can even hold on to the underneath your knee here, and then slowly start to twist over to the right. If you're doing it with your leg crossed over, then you do the same thing, or even with a regular crossing of the leg, same thing. So either way, we're all going to twist to the right with our nice tall straight back sitting in front of our tailbone. Let's think about that core, and then just continuously look over the right shoulder. Keep breathing. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed and your chest open. And with each inhale, start to elongate the spine, and with each exhale, using the leverage with the hand against the knee, giving yourself a good twist here as you breathe. Continue to twist, twist, twist. And then inhale, slowly come back to the center. Take that breath, and then we'll do the other side. So whatever you did for the first side, we'll do on the second side. So however you had your legs, whatever is the most comfortable for you. We're going to bring the right arm, wrapping it around the left side of the leg, bringing the left arm, propping ourselves up. As you inhale, let's elongate the spine, and exhale, begin to twist all the way over to the left. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed, your chest is open. Think about that core, think about sitting in front of the tailbone. Use that hand against the knee to help you twist just a little bit more as you breathe. Inhale to elongate, exhale to twist. Where your eyes go, your body follows. So continuously look over that shoulder, keep breathing, feeling yourself wringing out these organs, aiding in the detoxifying of the organs. Breathe, and then inhale, slowly come back to the center. And as you exhale, relax. We're going to move into the boat posture. So with your knees bent, hands behind the knees, slowly start to straighten the arms. So lean back, straighten the arms, hold that core in, even squeeze the knees together. And then if you feel comfortable, maybe you can bring one foot up. If it feels okay for you, maybe you can bring both legs up. Again, think about squeezing the core, squeezing the legs together. And then maybe you feel comfortable to release the hands. Try to keep your chest open here. Or maybe you can straighten the legs. Keep breathing. You can look between the toes. Your legs might be shaking. My legs are shaking. Again, creating that muscle memory, strengthening. Breathe here. Keep that chest open, core engaged. Squeeze the legs together. One more time, one breath. And then slowly bend the knees and move into Shavasana. So slowly lower yourself down all the way to the ground. Opening up the legs, opening up the arms, and just let your whole body be heavy. Allow the breath to relax you. Starting to feel that relaxation in the toes, the feet. Moving up the ankles and the knees. Awareness and relaxation to the hips, pelvis. Feeling sensation in your fingertips, your hands, your arms, all the way to the shoulders.
Just feel the whole back relaxing, heavy, the whole front of your body relaxed, buoyant. Start to relax all your facial muscles, the forehead, the eyebrows, eyes, nose, ears, mouth. Your whole head be heavy. And try to bring awareness and relaxation to your entire body, your whole body, the entire body. And begin to deepen the breathing, just bringing your awareness back as you start to wiggle the fingers, the toes, the wrists and the ankles. Taking deep breaths into your heart center, and then gently bending the knees, rolling over to one side, and then using the upper arm to just slowly lift you up into a seated position. And again, sitting either on the floor, on top of something, pillow, blanket, a block, just as long as you can find a nice tall grounded seat for a little bit of pranayama, breathing exercise. So again, think about sitting in front of the tailbone and thinking about that lower abdomen again, just enough so that you can have this nice tall seat. You want it to be comfortable. And then keep your head lifted so that you can imagine the back, upper back, middle back, the back of your head all leaning against an imaginary wall, keeping that airway nice and open. We're going to move into Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So bringing the right hand up, right thumb by the right nostril, ring finger, pinky finger next to the left, and then the two extra fingers, the peace fingers, can either rest at the center of your eyebrows or you can tuck them underneath. Take a breath in through both nostrils and then exhale through both nostrils. Cover the right nostril and slowly inhale through the left. And slowly exhale through the left. Cover the left, open up the right, inhale through the right. Exhale through the right. And just move on your own, alternating the nostrils, the breath. Try to find that balance between effort and effortless. This alternate nostril breathing helps you to balance the central nervous system. Helping to balance both hemispheres, the body and the brain. Very calming effect. As you exhale, just releasing the hands onto the lap. Bringing your breath back to normal. Just a very short gratitude meditation to end our practice. As you inhale, think silently to yourself think silently to yourself, I am grateful for. And as you exhale, just think of something that you feel grateful for. With each inhale, I am grateful for. With each exhale, something you're grateful for. Slowly and gently begin to deepen the breathing, bringing the palms together at the heart center, lifting the heart to meet the thumbs, please.
Also, send appreciation and gratitude to yourself, to your amazing body. Thank you so much for sharing your practice this morning with me. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.